Welcome to Bookwood. Hi, I'm glad you chose to spend some time with me. I am setting up my statistics page, which is as always the first part of my wrap-up video. This month for tar, it was quite a ride. I still did read for every leg. I also did some sightseeing, but what I never told you about in my vlog, since it has nothing to do with tar, is that I also listened to a bunch of audiobooks. Less than I usually do, since my hip is still not healed and I am struggling to do the chores around the house so much that we needed to find some help for that. With less chores to do for myself, I do some less listening to audiobooks too, which I didn't take in account when I made up the TBR for that, but we'll talk about that later. I have picked up 15 books this month, and none of them were a DNF, which is great. I found 2 new 5-star reads, which was a while ago, so I'm quite happy about that as well. Of these books, 9 were physical books and 2 were ebooks. Together, they account for 2,328 pages. The 4 audiobooks I listened to were a total of 48 hours and 8 minutes. Most of the books I read came from the library, 6 of them to be exact. 2 I owned, 1 came from a book box, and 2 I paid for on Kindle. The audiobooks all came from Audible. 3 were paid for and 1 was included. I read 8 novels, 4 novellas, 2 graphic novels and 1 short story collection. The genre that I read the most of was fantasy, and then there was an ex aequo between paranormal, contemporary and historical fiction. 7 of the books I read were standalones, 5 were part of a series and 3 were part of a duology. I started 3 new series, read 2 sequels, finished 3 series and DNF'd 1. I read 10 books in French, 4 in English and 1 in Dutch. Now it's time to update the annual pages in my journal. I did read my book For the Adventures in Allunia prompt. I needed a strange recommendation. I have read A Short Stay in Hell for this one. I thought I saw it in a video that was dedicated to strange books, but after checking, of course afterwards, it was not, but it was still a strange book. I was able to add 1 book to the 52 Book Club's reading challenge, and I also added 1 to my ABC on author's last name challenge. I was more successful with the 25 in 25 bingo from 4 pounds and a book. I could add 3 books and I got 2 more bingos. Unfortunately, my reservation for Les Lapindiens didn't come in, so I didn't read that. But I did read my book for the Fit Salon. It was one of my 5-star reads. I did read the book for my reread. I was able to add 2 books to my Read Me bingo. After these 6 months in my journal, it seems that the washies have somehow start to stick more to the page, and unfortunately the coordinates got hard to read. I hope that we will not have this problem further on. I have finished 2 series this month and I will not add any other on. The 3rd series I finished was a graphic novel duology, and 1 other book I read for a series is a series I will not continue. There is no point in adding them. I did start the Mooney Book Club read, but I have not finished it yet. Since for the Amazing Readathon I have read only physical books, I have decided to dedicate my audiobooks to another challenge. You see me prepare the spreads for that one here. The challenge is called Magic Carrier and it is organized by La Bibliothèque d'Emilia, which is a French YouTube channel. It is a magic school with more a challenge to the readathon than a game. And the idea is to read, like always, books that go with prompts that represent classes. And this year's special, so this means it will not come back next year, is the class to become an traductor and I want to say interpreter of magical languages. I thought that would be a great thing to add to my Aurelium story, and since this bonus of this challenge is dedicated to audiobooks, I thought it would be nice to listen to only audiobooks for this challenge. Officially, it is a challenge that goes over the months of June and July, and I have time to listen to the audiobooks, and I am happy that it is this way, because this month I didn't finish all of them. I had planned for about 63 hours of audiobooks, which is not too much in normal circumstances. But as I mentioned before, I have a problem in my hip. I limp and I cannot do all the chores in the house, and we have some help for that. This means that I listen less, and I only listened about 50 hours. So next month I will be continuing this challenge. Sticking in book covers is very satisfying, so I already add in the 4 covers of the books I listened to this month. If you watch my reading journal videos regularly, then you have learned that my notebook is full and that I started a new one to start from July and to hopefully get to the end of the year. So I add in a little flip through of the completed journal from January to June, and I will take this moment to also update you on the progress of my challenges. For the 52 Book Clubs Reading Challenge, I have read for 32 out of 52 prompts, which is about 62%. For the ABC Challenge that I'm doing on authors' last names, I have read 16 books out of 26. This gives us also a percentage of around 62. For the 25 in 25 bingo by 4 Paws and the book, I have even a higher percentage of the books read. With 20 out of 25 books, I come to a total of 80% of the challenge completed. The most difficult challenge I set myself this year is to keep my active series at around 20, or at least to be around that in December. I have made a little in-between count, and we are at 22 series that I am actively reading. I did start 12 more series since January, but I finished 10. So I had a look at the ones that remain. 7 of them are complete up to date, and in 4 of them I really need to buy the books, but we are not there yet. There are 3 series that I don't consider priorities. Those are Hultabi, Murderbot and the Miss Fisher series, which leaves me with 8 active series. I think we are not doing that bad. I've not added in my list the 3 series that I tried out but didn't finish after reading the first book. This flip through also shows you some spreads that you never saw me set up, and these are the story spreads for my Aurelian character. I tend to keep that for myself, but let me know if you're interested. Maybe I could share some of that if you'd like. The first audio I listened to and I want to talk to you about is Divine Darkness by Anna Triss. The third volume in this series, Les cristaux arcaniques, was the book I listened to, which concludes my listening to this series. As always, for a third book and a closing book in a series, it is very difficult to make a resume. But what I can tell you is that in this book, we will, together with Danae, explore the territory of Sun, Night's brother, and she will see his point of view in this fight or this war that is opposing them. And very slowly we will go to the end fight of this war and see who will finally be the one God standing. It was as well written as all Anna Triss's books, and I loved it very much. The second audiobook I picked this month was that song the Sirens sang, and it was supposed to be a standalone that fits into a series. I picked it because I needed a book around sirens or with sirens in the title for Magicarium, and in the end I am a little bit disappointed. This is a paranormal mystery in which a bad guy, a thief, a master thief, is out and about, and he has been asked to take over a shop. And in this shop they bring him to sell this stone that contains the last song of the sirens. Only something is wrong with this stone. The original was stolen, and so he sets out together with his, let's call her a side character, to steal back this original stone, and this set off in motion a whole bunch of paranormal adventures. The story in itself was okay, but saying that it could be read as a standalone was maybe a little bit ambitious. I felt lost the whole time I was listening to this book. I felt like there was way much more to know about these characters, their past and their abilities, than what we really know during this story or this adventure. The base plotline of this heist was fun though. The third book I listened to is Allunia 2. This is the second book in this duology, and I am very happy that I continued this. We will still follow Leah, but a couple of months after the events in the first book, when all events pick up again. We will, together with her, explore who she is and where she comes from, and we will learn a lot more about what happened, or what happened when she died, and how all these things are set in motion. And of course we will be ending all events as well. I really liked listening to it, even if it feels still young adult to me. I was a little bit sad with the epilogue that to me wasn't necessary. Like in La Guilde des Ombres, this epilogue will explore the characters a few weeks or months after the events of this book, and will make the like everything ends well vibe. And I have noticed that is not something that is for me.
of all series that I have finished. Like in this one, it is Divine Darkness and Allunia. We will talk more and with some slight spoilers in my series wrap-up that should be there around the 10th of August. I also forgot to say that the series of which I listened to the song the Sirens sang, I will not be reading any other books in that series. I had some time left, so I started a book that I hope to finish before the end of the month, but in the end I have not finished it, and that's The Naturals. It is the Mooney Book Club read, and it is a young adult paranormal mystery. Unfortunately, I am not very much enjoying it. It feels a bit empty to me. We are following a girl that is a natural. She can read people and she's like the perfect profiler. One day she is approached by someone from the FBI because they are wanting her to join a program they started in which they train these naturals with different skills to help solve cold cases. We will join her in the exploration of this program, the other naturals in it. We will see how she builds her relationships. This will mingle up with her personal story. Her mother has been killed, or that's what people think, because they never found the body, only a lot of blood. And during the training and things that her mentors go through, slowly the case of her mother will take more importance. I have not yet finished it, so more I cannot tell, but I already know that this book feels way too young for me, and that this again will be a book series that I will not finish.
See you soon!